Hello students, I am Bhavani. In previous class we discussed about our syllabus and some topics in unit 1. Let's continue remaining topics from this unit. The next topic is types of training. Various types of training, sir. First one, technical or technology training. Second one, quality training. Third one, skills training. Fourth one, soft skills training. Fifth one, professional training and legal training. Sixth one, team training. And seventh one, safety training. So we get a detailed idea about these types of training. First one is technical or technology training. First one, depending on the type of job, technical training will be required. Technical training is a type of training to teach the new employee about the technological aspects of the job. For example, in a retail environment, technical training might include teaching someone how to use the computer system to ring up customers. In a sale position, it includes showing someone how to use the customer relationship management, that is CRM system, to find new prospects. Next one, quality training. In a production focused business, quality training is extremely important. Quality training refers to familiarizing employees with the means of preventing, detecting, and eliminating non-quality items, usually in an organization that produces a product. This type of training provides employees with the knowledge to recognize products that are not up to the quality standards and teaches them what to do in this scenario. Numerous organizations such as International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO, measure quality based on a number of metrics. This organization provides the stamp of a quality approval for companies producing tangible products. ISO has developed quality standards for almost every field imaginable, not only considering product quality but also certifying companies in environmental management quality. Some companies choose to offer ISO training as external online training, employing companies such as QAI to deliver the training both online and in classrooms to employees. Training employees on quality standards, including ISO standards, can give them a competitive advantage. Next one, skills training. Skill training is the third type of training. It includes a proficiency needed to actually perform the job. For example, an administrative assistant might be trained in how to answer the phone, while a salesperson at Best Buy might be trained in assessment of customer needs and on how to offer the customer information to make a buying decision. At the same time, a cashier needs to know not only the technology to ring someone up, but what to do if something is priced wrong. Most of the time, skills training is given in-house and can include the use of a mentor. Next one, soft skills training. Our fourth type of training is soft skills training. Soft skills refers to personality traits, social graces, communication, and personal habits that are used to characterize relationships with other people. Soft skills might include how to answer the phone or how to be friendly and welcoming to customers. In some jobs, soft skills might include how to motivate others, maintain small talk, and establish rapport. For example, in a retail or restaurant environment, soft skills are used in every interaction with customers and are a key component of customers' experience. In fact, according to a Computer World magazine survey, executive says there is an increasing need for people who have not only the skills and technical skills to do a job, but also the necessary soft skills such as strong listening and communication abilities. Many problems in organizations are due to a lack of soft skills or interpersonal skills, not by problems with the business itself. As a result, HR and managers should work together to strengthen these employee skills. Soft skills training can be administered either in house or externally. The next one is professional training and legal training. In some jobs, professional training must be done on an ongoing basis. Professional training is a type of training required to be up to date in one's own professional field. For example, tax laws change often, and as a result, an accountant for H&R block must receive yearly professional training on new tax codes. Lawyers need professional training as law changes. At the same time, a personal fitness trainer will undergo yearly certifications to stay up to date in new fitness and nutrition information. Next one, team training. As a team building exercise, this is an example of team training. Some reasons for team trainings are improving communication, making the workplace more enjoyable, motivating a team, getting to know each other, at the same time getting everyone onto the same page, including goal setting, teaching the team self-regulation strategies, helping participants to learn more about themselves, that means strengths and weaknesses, at the same time identifying and utilizing strengths of team members. At the same time, it helps to improving team productivity. So team training can be administered either in-house or externally. Next one, safety training. Safety training is a type of training that occurs to ensure employees are protected from injuries caused by work-related accidents. Safety training is especially important for organizations that use chemicals or other type of hazardous materials in their production. Safety training can also include the plans, fire drills, and workplace violence procedures. So this is all about types of training. The next topic is corporate trainer. Corporate trainer is an educator or instructor who works in a business environment and conveys knowledge or skills to a group of employees. Corporate trainer may be hired full-time by a large company to train new employees and assist in the transition to new business systems. Next one, responsibilities of corporate trainer. Important responsibilities of corporate trainer are first one, corporate trainer certification, second one, competencies, third one, assessment, fourth one, design, fifth one, delivery, and sixth one, management. So these are the responsibilities of a corporate trainer. First one, corporate trainer certification. Corporate trainer plays an important role in making their companies more competitive by developing the skills of the workforce. They help to accelerate organizational change by developing the skills a company requires if it plans to enter new markets or needs to transform its business performance. Companies with a reputation for developing people also find it easier to recruit and retain high caliber employees. Next one, competencies. The American Society for Training and Development has established a model that identifies the competencies corporate trainers need to meet their responsibilities. Among the key competencies are the ability to design and deliver training, manage the learning function, measure and evaluate the results of training, and manage organizational knowledge. The model also provides the foundation for the society's professional certification program that enables trainers to enhance their own skills and competencies. Next one, assessment. Corporate trainer carry out assessments of the skill levels, knowledge and training needs of different groups of employees. They work closely with senior executives and departmental managers to align training goals with overall corporate and departmental objectives. Trainers use the results of their assessment to create skills development and learning programs. They identify training priorities for groups of employees who make the greatest contribution to achieving the business goals. Next one, design. The training assessment helps trainers identify the mix of training techniques they will need to deliver. They may focus on classroom training using a combination of lectures, workshops, and videos. If employees need to develop skills in using equipment, trainers may use demonstrations and one to one coaching sessions. Trainers can make use of distance learning programs for employees who need to develop product knowledge or technical skills. Next one, delivery. Trainers choose locations suitable for type of training activities they have identified because they may have to assess to dedicated training areas, or they may hire external venues for seminars or workshops, particularly if they are training larger groups. Trainers plan schedules to make the most effective use of training facilities because they deliver some sessions themselves and allocate staff to others, either using other training professionals or experts within the organization. For courses that require specialized knowledge, such as quality management training, they may hire external consultants. Next one, duties of HR training specialist. Training specialists are responsible for developing and conducting training programs for new and existing employees, which include some duties and responsibilities. They are consulting with management and supervisors to stay current on organization policies, procedures, business initiatives, technologies, and regulations. Next, they coordinating corporate training programs with hiring and training periods and events. They formulating curriculum and instructional delivery methods as to accommodate hiring and training requirements. They oversee the creation and development of instructional training methods such as individual training, group training, lectures, demonstration, conferences, and workshops. They selecting teaching aids that assist in training, such as handbooks, demonstration models, multimedia visual aids, and computer tutorials. Next, they testing trainees as to measure progress and effectiveness of training programs. Next, they reporting on employee training progress to department management and supervisors. At the same time, they maintaining accurate training records. They receiving feedback from employees regarding effectiveness of training methods. So these are the duties of HR training specialist. Thank you.